Yo, what up? It's John Kizzy, you know who is he? And I'm here with a comic book news related update here for the first episode of Kizzy's Comics. First I want to talk about is WandaVision. You can see that now on Disney Plus. The last episode 8, was amazing. So make sure when you watch it, you stay for the cutscene at the end. Big things coming. Next episode is going to be the final episode, and that's coming out next Friday, March the 5th. Make sure you check that out on Disney Plus. After WandaVision wraps up, we got another show to look forward to, and that's the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Of course, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier are going to be the stars of the show, also featuring Helmut Zemo, which you should remember from Captain America Civil War. Also joining the Falcon and the Winter Soldier in the series is going to be Sharon Carter. We're going to have Batroc back. He was last seen in Captain America Winter Soldier, played by George St. Pierre. And War Machine's also supposed to make an appearance in the show. And it's going to debut John Walker, who in the comics is U.S. Agent, and Flag Smasher is going to be in it. And we have the first episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier coming up on March 19th on Disney Plus. And Loki is getting his own series on Disney Plus also. After stealing the Tesseract in Avengers Endgame, Loki is captured by the Time Variance Authority and is put to work by them. Owen Wilson plays a member of the TVA, that's the Time Variance Authority, and this show is set to be like a time travel crime thriller, and it's going to premiere I should say, June the 11th on Disney Plus. Be sure to check that out. Another show we got coming to Disney Plus is Hawkeye. It's going to be introducing Kate Bishop, played by Haley Steinfeld. This show will focus on Clint Barton training Kate to be the next Hawkeye. This show will also feature Marvel characters such as Swordsman and Echo, and an appearance from the new Black Widow, Yelena Belova. The show is going to premiere late 2021 on Disney Plus. The show will also feature comic book villains that are known as the Tracksuit Draculas. If you don't know who they are, check out the comic books. It's a funny art. Another show coming to Disney Plus is based on the comic series What If. This series will explore what happened if major moments in the MCU happened differently. The series will be narrated by Jeffrey Wright, who's going to play the Watcher. All the actors from the MCU will be back to voice their characters in this animated series. It's going to premiere somewhere mid-2021. on Disney Plus. Another show we got coming to Disney Plus is Miss Marvel, the adventures of 16-year-old Kamala Khan, a Muslim Pakistani American from Jersey City who gains powers like shape-shifting powers. I think they're like similar to Mr. Fantastic and Ant-Man kind of combined. And she's a huge Captain Marvel fan, which is kind of where she gets her name, Miss Marvel. That show premieres in late 2021 on Disney Plus. If you're not familiar with Miss Marvel, you can check out the new Avengers game, or came out last September 2020 I should say. And yeah, she's a dominant character in that game. Check it out. It's a good game, very underrated. Another show we got coming to Disney Plus is Moon Knight. Oscar Isaac will play Mark Spector, a vigilante with multiple personalities that may or may not have superpowers granted to him by the Egyptian moon god Khonshu. He also has Batman-type gadgets and weapons, and this show is going to premiere next year on Disney Plus 2022. She-Hulk will also make her Disney Plus debut in 2022. After receiving a blood transfusion from her cousin Bruce Banner, Jennifer Walters becomes She-Hulk. Tatiana Maslany will play Jennifer Walters, and the series will feature Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner and the return of Tim Roth as the Abomination. And that's going to be coming out sometime in 2022. Secret Invasion will also be coming to Disney Plus in the near future. This series will follow a sect of Skrulls that have infiltrated all aspects of life on Earth. Samuel L. Jackson will be back as the lead of the series as Nick Fury, of course, and it will also feature Skrulls that were in Captain Marvel, such as Talos. No set date for that yet. Another series announced for Disney Plus is Ironheart. 15-year-old Riri Williams creates a suit of armor similar to Iron Man's and becomes a superhero. Besides Dominique Throne starring as Riri, not much else has been revealed about the series, not even a start date, but it's coming soon to Disney Plus. Keep your eyes and ears open for that. And the last show I got on this list that's coming to Disney Plus is Armor Wars. In this one, Tony Stark's tech falls into the wrong hands, and we have War Machine stepping up to try and set things right. We all know Don Cheadle's coming back as War Machine. Besides that, nothing else has been revealed about the series, not even as date, so all we know is it's coming to Disney Plus in the near future. Now moving to the Marvel movies side of things, we have the long-delayed solo Black Widow movie coming. It's still currently scheduled to hit theaters May 7th. We hope that it stays with this. This one is a prequel of sorts, taking place right after Captain America Civil War. The film will feature Red Guardian and the new Black Widow, who's going to presumably take her place, Yelena Belova, should have said her whole name, and the villainous Taskmaster is going to be the main bad guy of that one. Everyone's been waiting for Taskmaster. If you don't know, he has photographic memory, so he's able to do the moves. Any moves he sees, he can do them. Going to be a dope movie. Another long-awaited movie coming is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Shang-Chi, who's the master of Kung Fu in the comics, must take on the real Mandarin. Not the fake one that was in Iron Man 3, but we got the real Mandarin making his debut. Other villains in this movie is going to be Razor Fist and Death Dealer. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is still set for theatrical release July 9th of this year, but kind of surprised that we haven't had a trailer for it yet, so who knows what's going to happen. Another much talked about movie that's coming up fairly soon, is supposed to be dropping this year, is The Eternals. After an unexpected tragedy following the events of Avengers Endgame, the Eternals, who are an immortal alien race created by the Celestials who have secretly lived on Earth for like 7,000 years, they reunite to protect humanity from their evil counterparts, the Deviants. The all-star cast includes Angelina Jolie, Salma Hayek, Kate Harington, and more. It's set to hit theaters November 5th, 2021. The most rumored movie of the year. Rumors ranging from Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire returning as alternate Spider-Man, to Jamie Foxx and Alfred Molina returning as Electro and Dr. Octopus. And with Tom Holland trolling us with 3 different fake movie names, who knows what's going on with this movie. Though it has finally been confirmed that the name of the movie will be Spider-Man No Way Home, and that Doctor Strange will be featured in the movie, and it's set to hit this year, December the 17th. Speaking of Doctor Strange, he's set to star in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. It's said that this movie will focus on a friend-turned-enemy that causes Doctor Strange to unleash unspeakable evil. With this movie said to be directly affected by WandaVision, it's hard to say if the friend-turned-enemy will be the Scarlet Witch or Carl Mordo, as both will feature in this movie, along with the debut of fan-favorite character America Chavez. I mean, she can kick a hole into another dimension. She's going to be tight. It's going to be a good movie. And it's set to hit theaters March 25th, 2022. Thor is going to come back for his 4th movie. Thor was once called the weakest franchise in the MCU, and he's now the most anticipated. This movie is going to be a jam-packed, fun film, with Jane Foster becoming Mighty Thor, Thor traveling with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and Christian Bale starring as Gore the God Butcher. This movie got me hyped. It's set to hit theaters May 6, 2022. Black Panther 2 has been announced, but beside the announcement, nothing else has been revealed about the movie. All that we know is that T'Challa will not be recast. On a side note, Ryan Coogler, who is the director and writer of Black Panther, is also developing a Wakanda series for Disney+. Black Panther 2 is set to hit theaters the 8th of July, 2022. As with Black Panther 2, there's not much we have to go on Captain Marvel 2. We just know that it's happening. It's a sequel that's been announced and it's going to be coming. And we know that Brie Larson is going to be back, of course, as Captain Marvel. And joining her will be Teyonah Parris as Monica Rambeau from WandaVision, and Iman Vellani as Kamala Khan. She's going to be playing Kamala Khan in the Miss Marvel series, and she'll be in Captain Marvel 2 as well. And it's set to hit November the 11th. That's Remembrance Day here in Canada, but November the 11th, 2022. The threequel to Ant-Man, titled Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, has also been announced. All we know so far about it is that all the original cast members are coming back, and they will be joined by Catherine Newton as a teenage Cassie Lang and Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror. This will be released sometime in 2022. No set date has been announced so far. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 has also been announced, and all we know about this is that James Gunn is going to be back to direct it. The script is done, and they begin shooting sometime this year, and it will be released in 2023. A Fantastic Four movie was also announced, but the only news that we have about this is that Marvel is currently looking for scriptwriters. And there are some sites online saying that Jennifer Lawrence has been cast in the movie, but these are just internet rumors. I take it with a grain of salt. Marvel has made an official announcement that covers all of the TV shows and movies that I just mentioned. If you want to get more information on them, I'll leave a link in the description and you can go and check out that video. A new show called Assembled is available on Disney+. The first one will be the making of WandaVision. I don't know much about the show, but I assume that each episode is going to focus on behind the scenes and the making of different Marvel shows that are going to be on Disney+. Now, one of the coolest things I found out recently about Marvel is that they teamed up with WU-TANG Clan member Method Man and have a podcast called Marvel Method. I listened to the first one. It's with DMC from Run DMC fame, and it is amazing. If you like comic books and you like hip-hop, check it out. They even have guest writers come on and he interviews them as well, comic book writers. The first episode was on February 24th, so if you haven't checked it out, go check that out. And yes, if you like comics and you like hip-hop music, you'll love the show. It's called Marvel Method. There's a link in the description. Go check it out. And M.O.D.O.K has got his own Hulu series coming. It's an animated series coming May 21st of this year. After years of failing to gain control of the world and being removed from his company AIM after it hits bankruptcy and it's sold, he faces a midlife crisis. It's a comedy cartoon, and it's going to be May the 21st is when it debuts on Hulu. If you have access to Hulu, check it out. Have some Marvel gaming news here. On March the 18th, not only will the Avengers game be coming to Xbox Series X and PS5, but the Operation Hawkeye Future Imperfect DLC will also be released on this day. This is a very underrated game. It's multiplayer, 4-player co-op. Get to play as the Avengers. Awesome game. The last DLC featured Kate Bishop, and this one looks to be even better. So check out the Avengers on Xbox and PlayStations. Now let's move into some DC stuff. And since we're talking about video games, let's keep it with the two new video games that DC has announced. Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. It's a 4-player game set in the same universe as Batman Arkham Asylum. This game stars Harley Quinn, Deadshot, King Shark, and Captain Boomerang. It's an open world game set in Metropolis, where the Suicide must take down a brainwashed Justice League. It's going to be released sometime in 2022. Batman Gotham Knights is another co-op game from DC, but while this has 4 characters, which includes Nightwing, Batgirl, Robin, and Red Hood, it's only a 2-player co-op. It's an open world game set in Gotham, where you can use the Bat Cycle to explore the city, and it features drop-in and drop-out co-op, set to be released sometime in 2021. The most anticipated DC movie of all time is just weeks away. Zack Snyder's Justice League. The most anticipated DC movie, this would be Zack Snyder's vision of what Justice League should have been. During filming of Justice League, as you may already know, due to some family tragedy, Zack Snyder had to leave the project and it was taken over by Joss Whedon. And it changed many elements of the movie, and fans were not happy with it, and the movie was very poorly reviewed and received. Well, now Zack is back, and he's turned a 2.5-hour gore fest into what promised to be a 4-hour masterpiece. Characters added to the movie include Darkseid, Granny Goodness, Deathstroke, Martian Manhunter, Green Lantern, and the Joker. Now, there's rumors floating around online that Ryan Reynolds will be back as Green Lantern, but he has denied those. But who knows? We'll know on March 18th, as that is when it will be released on HBO Max. Another DCEU movie on the horizon is The Suicide Squad. James Gunn is directing this time around, and a ton of new characters are being added to the squad, including Bloodsport, Peacemaker, Thinker, Blackguard, and more. Harley Quinn, Rick Flag, and Captain Boomerang will also return. This movie is set to hit theaters the 6th of August this year. And we finally have some concrete news on the Flash movie that DC is working on. Rumor-wise, this movie's worse than Spider-Man. It's said to be loosely based on Flashpoint, and it will feature both Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck as Batman. Also, Gal Gadot will be back as Wonder Woman, and of course Ezra Miller will be on board to play the Flash. Ray Fisher was set to have a significant role in the movie, but was written out following his accusations of abuse at DC Films. Sasha Calle, from The Young and the Restless, has been cast as Supergirl. This movie is set for release the 4th of November, 2022. Aquaman 2 is also in development. Not much is known about this sequel except that Mera and Black Manta will both be returning. It'll begin shooting sometime this year, and the expected release date is December 16th of 2022. A sequel to Shazam is on the way, titled Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Only other thing revealed about the movie is the release date, which is June 2nd of 2023. Black Adam is still in development. This movie has been talked about since 2019 and still has yet to begin shooting. It is now scheduled to start shooting coming this April though. And besides The Rock starring as Black Adam, other characters in the film will include Hawkman, Atom Smasher, Cyclone, and Dr. Fate. A new Batman movie is also coming to theaters, and this one is starring Robert Pattinson as Batman, Colin Farrell as the Penguin, Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, and Paul Dano as the Riddler. This film will focus on Batman and his second year of crime fighting. It is not connected to the DCEU, and it's set to hit theaters March 4th of 2022. It's been announced that the upcoming Halo TV series, based on the Xbox game, will now be on Paramount Plus, which is a rebranding of CBS All Access. Godzilla vs. Kong will also be coming to theaters March 26th internationally and March 31st in the US and on HBO Max. Not much more I can say about this. It's Godzilla, it's King Kong, and they're going at it. Trailer looks amazing. You can see it in the description below. Mortal Kombat is finally getting a reboot, and this time it's said to focus on Sub-Zero and Scorpion. It's set to hit theaters and HBO Max on the same day, April 16th of this year. And last but not least, Morbius. Jared Leto is playing Michael Morbius, a scientist suffering from a rare blood disease who tries a dangerous cure and becomes a living vampire. This movie is set to hit theaters the 21st of January 2022. And that's everything for today. This has been the first episode of Kizzy's Comics. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you were well informed. I hope that you like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget that. And you can find the links to all articles and all trailers mentioned in the description below. This is John Kizzy, you know who is he? Also known as Philly G, you know who I be? See you next week.